Michel Barnier's Achilles heel has been exposed as the EU looks set to see its Brexit position collapse in talks with the UK, an analyst suggested. The damning analysis highlights the huge sticking points between the UK and the EU. On the one hand, the UK, having voted to leave in 2016, is looking to secure economic autonomy, the freedom to set its own rules for businesses and also on fisheries. And while Prime Minister Boris Johnson wants to trade with the EU, the bloc's chief negotiator Michel Barnier has demanded regulatory alignment and continued access to British fishing grounds. Often described as a hardline or maximalist approach, the EU has taken a tough stance with the UK, but analyst for Forbes, Stephen Pope, warned that this tactic will fail and suggested it could be Mr. Barnier's Achilles heel. In February, he argued that compromise would have to be made, citing France 24 economist Simon Brewer. Mr. Brewer had said, short-term gyrations in the foreign exchange markets are of little consequences to the future trajectory of UK trade. I think we are recognizing that the EU has some closely held desires and red lines which may indeed have to be found to be more flexible. This is because the government and Boris Johnson have already shown a certain level of pragmatism with Huawei. I think they will be buoyed by an unequivocal mandate and he won't yield. Mr. Pope went on to highlight another potential weakness in the EU's armoury, the result of the Irish election earlier this year. After a Sinn Féin surge broke the two-party system in Ireland, negotiations to form a government are still ongoing as Leo Varadkar prepares to leave office. Dennis Staunton, a journalist with the Irish Times, told Channel 4 News that the victor may well request Brussels adopt a softer stance. However, in his article for Forbes, Mr. Pope highlights the main weakness for the EU. He highlights that the UK's departure from the bloc has left a huge hole in the EU budget, which other member states are reluctant to compensate for.